What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, I want to give you a quick update on Solana because its price is making an interesting move today, one that I think needs to be worth noting because in my opinion, if it is successful, then obviously we're going to be in a position in which we could see Solana making some beautiful gains pretty soon here. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, please don't forget, if you do want to trade some Solana, you can use my CoinW exchange link down in the description below. You're going to get up to $30,000 when you do sign up, and when you do sign up, you don't need to KYC, meaning you don't need to give them any of your personal information. You can just deposit funds and start trading, and on top of being able to get $30,000 in bonuses, you're also going to get free access to our trading group, in which you're going to be able to get scalp trade signals, swing trade signals, spot trade signals, live trading, pro charts, market updates, much more, all completely for free once you do sign up with the link down in the description below. So don't pass up on that. 30,000 plus a free trading group is absolutely insane, so make sure that you do go check that out down in the description below. But with that in mind, of course, let's jump into Solana and let's see what is happening. Now, in the last video, I told you all that the formula for Solana going forward was very simple. I said, look, what happened recently was that Solana broke through this descending channel. Now, when you break through a descending channel, you have three major steps that you need to take to be able to make a beautiful, real big move to the upside. Step number one is that once you have your previous swing high all the way down to your most recent macro low, you have to draw on your Fibonacci from those levels and get your 618 to 786 bucks. This is going to serve as the strongest zone of resistance realistically that Solana or whatever crypto is going to face the moment it breaks out of this move. Okay, so once you're in this channel, you break out of this channel, you're almost immediately going to usually run into that point of resistance, and that's going to serve as whether you're going to see some type of fake out, right? So you break out, then you fake out, and you immediately get rejected back into the channel, or if this move is actually certified and you're actually going to make this move to the upside and this actually is a breakout. So this is kind of the determining factor of whether or not this is a legitimate breakout or not. Okay, and what you can see here is that, of course, there are many steps behind that, or there's two steps at least behind that. After you, of course, break the 618 to 76 bucks and you break your previous high, now you have established higher high and you've broken the macro downtrend. Then from there, you, of course, clear your most recent 618 to 786 macro zone, blah, 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 blah. None of that other stuff matters. You can go check out the last Solana video if you want to watch that. But what I want to focus on what's happening right here, because now the 618 to 786 box is being tested right now. So what we can see is something that wasn't necessarily the best thing ever, but it's not the worst thing. And I know that it sounds weird, so I'll just explain what I mean. Okay, so what we can see is that Solana tried to make the break earlier today. Okay, so if we do go down to the hourly charts, boom, there we go. We can see that on the hourly, Solana actually did make that break. Now, the sucky part is that it came back down, it back tested, it held the back test for a second, but then immediately started to get rejected back within this 618 to 786 box. Now, as of recording this video, which is probably going to be recorded about 4 hours before this does go live, we have not been able to clear back up here, right? We are seemingly still getting rejected here. And so, of course, what I will say is that there are two options of what's going to happen here, and you're going to be able to pretty clearly tell what happens by the end of the day. Option number one is that Solana does recover here. Solana does continue to make this move to the upside. Maybe it just back tests a little bit, but then it breaks back up, maybe bounces on some support, and then continues upward. Okay. If this does happen, not only am I going to open up a small little long trade on Solana, on CoinW, of course, but not only am I going to open up a little bit of a long trade on Solana with a quick, freaking close stop loss. I mean, I'm talking 146 probably, so very small, because I am then expecting Solana's price to try and attempt to come back up to 160. But I am also going to be under the expectation that we have now completed step number one. And even in this example, if Solana's price does get rejected back to the downside, step one is complete, and that does open up the door for it to start working back up to step two and step three. So even if we would get rejected in this example, I would still be very bullish while we were pulling back because we would have completed step one. And you don't usually complete step one without going back up to clear step two and possibly even step three. Okay, of course, step one is here, step two is here, step three is here. Now, so that's option number one. Option number one is we do maintain support here. We hold this up and Solana does continue. At that point, I would expect that we would see $160 get moved to within, maybe the next couple days. Okay. Option number two. Option number two is that Solana gets rejected here. By the end of the day, we've closed back below $150. We're unable to clear it, and Solana does start going sideways. That's kind of what's happening right now for Bitcoin. So if we do go look at Bitcoin's chart, you can see that what happened for Bitcoin was that this rejection actually went a lot deeper. And if you look at, say, the 4-hour chart, for example, now it's just going sideways within the zone, right? So it had the failed breakout, and now it's just sitting under this zone. If that happens for Solana, what I would actually go ahead and say is that realistically, there's no need to rush on this thing, and I would pause all buying on Solana at that given point. The reason I would pause all buying on Solana is quite simply because at the point in which you do start getting rejected by the 618 to 786 box, the opportunity then becomes that you are going to start to see a pullback or a rejection from that zone. Maybe it's just a cooldown within the zone, that's possible, but oftentimes there's like a little bit of a pullback off of that zone or some sort of rejection once the bears realize that the bulls aren't strong enough to break out of this. And so knowing that, then obviously I wouldn't necessarily want to be buying right here, knowing that it's more likely than not that we would get some type of stronger, slower consolidation or some type of little small pullback towards the downside to what could be like $133 to $128 or something like that. And so because of that, obviously, if we do see Solana get rejected off 150 and unable to close above it, especially on the dailies, I would again start to assume that some type of consolidation or pullback's coming, and I would just pause on my buys. You know, we were doing buying on Solana way back over here. The last time we did a big ass buy on Solana was back here when HG Algo went off. Then obviously we picked up a little bit more around $125 around this level. So clearly there's no need to be in a rush right now. I'm really just going to allow this to play out. And so because of this, where we are with Solana at this given point is pretty important. You know, if we get this breakthrough, then like I said, we're on track to continue upwards to 160. But if it does fail, then we're in a spot in which we're either going to go sideways for a couple days or maybe even pull back for up to a week or two. And so obviously pay very close attention to what happens at 150. So the whole point of today's video is just to give you a quick update. I know it feels good because Solana's outperforming a lot of the market today, but you need to pull back the curtains and really look at what's happening because it does still have some risk to it. And those are risks that I wanted to make you aware of. And so with that in mind, that's about it. You guys know I've uploaded a Solana video, I think every day for the last 6 or 7 days straight, and I have every intention to continue to do so. So if you have been enjoying the Bitcoin, Solana, Render, HBAR, Jasmine content, meme coin content, tutorials, and much more, make sure that you do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can also check out the shorts section where I do upload shorts, or you can check out my Twitter in the description where I post tweets every single day. I have a lot of content coming out just for you guys, so I hope you guys do enjoy, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.